Hey, I'm going to make a quick video on people I don't trust, okay? I'm going to, people ain't going to like this. I criticized Ron Paul before even too, right? Well, ain't going to like this, but you know what? I'm not a person, first off, I understand the devils, okay? The devils? I think I do. I think I've been around that stuff to know better. I think I got the right mentality. But I'm giving the middle class here a straight scoop. All these guys are playing a game too with the silver, and including a lot of bloggers and a lot of things. And silver, let me get to this straight up. Silver's going to go way up. I think it's going to go way up this year too. I think this pullback's happening now. Maybe, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. It's like I really don't have a crystal ball. It's kind of hard to stick with some of these convictions where I'm thinking silver's going to go down. Now it's looking good. It was looking like garbage just the other day, but whatever. I want to get on with this guy, this list here, and the list is actually more extensive than this. But you know what? You middle class people, quit listening to these guys too much and use some common sense. Peter Schiff, the guy's mainly a broker. He's in business for himself, right? He's out for number one. That's the game with all these guys. They're out for number one. They're going to tell you stuff left and right. Now, the two guys I always said I could trust, I don't know. Let me put it this way. I think they give good advice. Mark Faber, Jim Rogers. Peter Schiff, he's made a number of wrong calls. Remember during that 2008 crisis. In 2007, he wrote the book about, where to put your money and stuff, emerging markets, the euro, precious metals, commodities, that type of stuff, the dollar's falling. Yeah, he was right. He totally missed a call, though, when there was a major crash. He totally missed that. I mean, if you want a guy that's going to tell you what's going on when there's going to be a correction period, right? Or at least hint there might be one. Not him. He's like a broken record. Buy gold, buy silver, buy emerging markets. And, elect me for politician, elect me for senator. And, when you're a senator, guess what? You got a bird's eye view of what's going on. That's pretty good for your pockets too, right? I don't trust this guy. Do people do whatever the hell they want? I don't trust him. A lot of people don't like me saying that. Number two, Alex Jones. Well, a lot of people probably agree with that stuff, that they see it's about a lot of yellow journalism and stuff. I say Alex Jones, if he was really hurting the media, the big guys, the bad guys, the Bilderbergers, the Club of Rome, the CFR, and all this type of stuff, if he was a thorn in their side, they would have shut him down a long time ago. I think it's a big circus show, the whole thing. And since I'm a devil, I think I can give some good information on what to really put money into. And you're not going to piss off the elite. We're not going to work against the elite. We're going to work with the elite. That's the way I look at it. These guys are just a big bunch of circus clowns out here playing a game for the disgruntled masses. And they're a focal point. And basically, they're not giving anybody the truth anyway. But I found out the best way to work with something is you don't attack them directly. You work with them, and they don't want to work with you, you stab them in the back. Hey, right? But anyway, we're going to work with them in the beginning. The Max Kaiser, he's another one. He's a circus clown, basically. Tells you a bunch of garbage about silver going to $400. Silver might go to more than $1,000, right? It could. Inflationary pressures and all this type of stuff. But, it's almost like it's a big charade, it's a big show. And, the stuff about J.P. Morgan, keep buying shiny silver coins, we're going to break J.P. Morgan. You're not going to break J.P. Morgan buying shiny silver coins. It's going to take a hell of a lot. I did point out the one market the little people can move was the palladium market. We could have killed him on that damn thing. This guy, he's got no brains whatsoever, because if he did a little bit of arithmetic, it's not any kind of math, it's arithmetic. You can figure out, little peons could actually destroy the market on palladium and hoard that stuff and drive the price up like crazy. It would be easy to do compared to silver. And who cares about J.P. Morgan? We want to drive the price up and sell it to somebody expensive, right? Anyway, yeah, I know that sounds bad, but everybody in reality, including the middle class, just trying to get rich fast. So I'm telling you, that's the way to do it. This guy putting out this spiel about J.P. Morgan collateralizing the shorts with their stock price, and that the silver price can't go over the J.P. Morgan stock price. It's a bunch of hogwash. And, he offers no explanation for anything. So hang it up. hang it up. These are the heroes everybody's listening to, and they're stealing them wrong. Now, I'm not going to argue that. I think silver's going to actually do very good this year. That's my guess. Crystal ball isn't always working, though, but I think it is. Gerald Celente basically writes trends research, goes on Alex Jones, bitches about different things, about his brokerage account with MF Global and how they ripped him off. I guess that would piss me off big time, too. I would. It would probably piss me off a lot more than Gerald Celente ever got pissed off. He puts about 80% or more of his money into gold. I don't think that's such a super good decision, to tell you the truth. I think that's kind of lopsided, but it might work out if he gets out of it at the right time. Because, as George Soros says, George Soros, he's a very good person to listen to sometimes because he throws out some really great hints. What he'll do is say, gold is the ultimate bubble. And then they're saying, he's lying, he bought gold. You know what? George Soros knows what the hell he's talking about. He's being cute. He's throwing out a hint. I remember that when he said that a couple years ago about gold being the ultimate bubble. I knew fully what he meant. Everybody else took it the other way around. I don't know why, but I understood. Ron Paul, I put some criticism out, and this guy, I like what he says fundamentally. You know what? Somehow, I just can't believe this guy going around trying to dismantle the military-industrial complex, the Federal Reserve. You know, all these things that people would have gotten crushed into a pile of dust a million years ago if they were actually serious about it. Him just doing this out in the open. I consider him a focal point. I mean, I don't know if you could say it's sincere or not. It's just crazy that this guy is allowed to throw this dog and pony show out there. I consider him a focal point. And I never really see anything concrete how he's going to do that. I'm going to bring the troops home. You know, they don't need to be out there doing that. You know, how is he going to do that? How? Step by step by step by step. You know, there's a lot of garbage when you're saying this, that, and the other thing. And, you know, by actually him saying those types of things like that, makes it, like, impossible that it can actually happen. You can't just say, you know, I want to take over the world or some garbage like that when you're sitting in a, you know, you're hardly nothing, you know. That's basically what he's doing. He's basically taking over the biggest, most powerful people in the world and telling them they're out of business. The Federal Reserve, the military-industrial complex, you guys are all done. You know, I'm sorry to say this, but, you know, a lot of people will never believe that in a million years. This guy is actually not fighting for you. He's playing a game. He's playing a game, too, and I think he's 100% endorsed by the elite. Okay? Now, I'm going to say right now, yes, I'm a devil. I understand how the devils think. I'm telling you how devils think, and I'm telling you how devils play. This guy's not real. As far as what he says in principle, that's good. But when he's talking in front of Ben Bernanke, Ben, gold is money, and Ben doesn't understand gold is money. You know what? It's all a big show for the middle class. That's all it is, you know? So, Lindsey Williams, I think he's another one that's, he's on the Alex Jones show all the time. He had some good information from Ken Fromm. Obviously, he's getting fed a lot of garbage right now. You know, most of the information he puts out there, that's big secret insider stuff, I can read at the other place in better detail. Also, you know, he made calls upon silver to go to $75 to $100, and we saw Eric Sprott, who's not on this list, probably should be. And there's a lot of other people. Bob Chapman should be on this list. Eric Sprott was selling silver at its highs, all perfectly during, 2011. Then he got out of it. Then, Silver Vigilante puts out his. They're all associated with each other. They're all tied in with Alex Jones. Alex Jones bills this guy as the guy's never been wrong, and I've seen he's been wrong a number of times. SGT Bull, another one, just talks back and forth with the silver crowd. Now, I'm going to say one person I think to actually listen to in principle. Maybe he's not going to be able to give you perfect information as to which way the markets are going, but Mike Maloney. And Mike Maloney does have very, very, very high predictions on silver. He might be right. He's talking $20,000 gold, $1,500 silver. Now, in a very strong inflationary time, that might occur. So I'm telling you, yes, keep the metal. But, these guys are all clowns just playing to the crowd in different ways, most of them. And they talk to you about the manipulation and all this type of stuff. But look at every other commodity out there. It's like there's a lot of cycles and different things going on. What you can only be thankful for is that these guys are going to push the bubble, but there's going to be a hell of a lot of people holding the bag at the end when the stuff crashes, and you're thinking fundamentally it should never crash. And you know what? I think all these people know better. They know better. Max Kaiser knows better. They all do. They all do. They all do. Now, as far as Brother John F., I can't believe that every time he thinks there's a big manipulation conspiracy out there that he maybe sincerely buys into the whole line all the way. I don't. I think, maybe he's one of these useful idiots in a way. He's smart, but he's stupid in another way. But it's like silver is going up and down, just like the way every other commodity in the world is going up and down practically. Sometimes it performs better, sometimes it performs worse. The major media doesn't ignore silver because it's this year so far, up to, let's say from January 1st to the end of February, it was the best performing asset bar none. Then it crashed, right? Well, with Brother John F., he'll tell you it crashed because the Federal Reserve did it. Ben Bernanke with a concentrated attack, and they all hit the short position, they all sold off, and they all did this, and you can see it's a bunch of garbage. You know what? A lot of stuff crashed, too. How's that? Copper, a lot of stuff crashed. That's what I'm saying. These guys are all pushing a conspiracy theory all the way. There's some truth to it, but it's nowhere near as much as they're pushing. They're pushing snake oil themselves. So I want to point out, I think as far as the guy that's in silver specifically, like a silver and gold guy, Mike Maloney gives you some good hardcore facts about stuff. Like, for instance, if the Dow goes to go to 20,000, I don't know if it's going to go that high, but 1-to-1 with gold, 20,000 gold, 15-to-1 ratio with silver, it's not going to stay there. And Mike Maloney tells you to switch over to something else when it starts getting there. Just a lot of these other guys are telling you, like, fundamentally, it's always going to stay there. No, it's not. No, it's not. You remember, metals are not something that push income constantly. Even Mark Farber talks about that. He'll have stocks and companies in China and stuff that pay like 5% dividends and stuff like that. So when you make a lot of money, or the silver and the gold goes up a lot, it probably is. It probably is going to hit some of these astronomical values. Start getting the hell out of it. Start getting the hell out of it. That's the way I look at it. But actually, if you want to have like great things going on throughout the world and the planet, if you really look at what really benefit the most of mankind, it's not so much that we had shiny silver coins in our pockets. It's the fact that we had cheap energy. That's what progressed mankind more than anything. Created the Industrial Revolution, caused farmers to produce so much food with machinery that they could feed like all these people. With one farmer can feed all these people. You didn't need like one person working 12 hours a day out in the field. So actually, silver and gold is not the answer to anything in a way. It actually is cheap energy. And if you look at what the most important commodity in the world is today, it actually is in the energy sector. That's another reason I was saying that a new world currency is probably going to be based more upon energy than anything. And even Lindsey Williams says this. But you know what? I know this because our dollar pretty much already is backed by oil. It is. So watch these guys. I don't trust any of these guys. I'm just saying this. I'm not being cynical about it. I'm just being truthful about it. Because actually all of them got a game. Every single one of these guys got a game out for number one. And they're playing games. They're not really telling the whole story because they're playing to the crowd. And that ain't no good. You don't want to tell a bunch of BS and, gloss things over because this is what people want to hear.